welcome back to another vlog. We have a very exciting vlog today, as I'm sure you can tell by the title, because we are heading up to Noosa to participate in the Noosa Triathlon. I am so excited for this. This definitely came about very last minute. I got a call on Tuesday to say, hey, do you want to participate on Sunday? And I absolutely jumped at the opportunity and said, absolutely, I want to participate. We are up nice and early. Today is currently Saturday, the 1st of November, and it is 5:47 a.m. And we are racing tomorrow on the 2nd of November. I haven't packed, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't actually packed anything, and we're leaving today at about 10 a.m. to go up to Noosa. I've woken up nice and early to give myself quite a bit of time this morning. The plan is to have some carbs right now because we are carb loading, which I'll touch on in a second. Have some carbs, get ready. I wanted to go for a walk and go get a coffee at my gym and do recovery boots. I'm not entirely sure how long I'm gonna have to walk, and it's also looking really grey and miserable outside, and I don't actually know if we're expected to get some rain this morning. But regardless, I do think I want to try and get over there to do the recovery boots, even if I'm not walking. Go get a coffee, come back, and then pack. And you're probably thinking, Caity, you haven't packed. Why are you trying to like jam all of that in? Just pack for your trip. I don't know, okay? I can't really tell you. As I mentioned, we are carb loading. So if you're not familiar with what a carb load is, essentially in the lead up to any sort of endurance style race, anything that's usually longer, a half marathon or longer, typically you will carb load for it. So that means that you're basically eating a whole bunch of carbs to fill your glycogen stores and make sure that on race day you have more than enough fuel to get you through the race without tapping into any other source of fuel. Typically that is between, I think it's like 7 to 10 grams of carbs per kilo of body weight. So for me today, because I am only doing a shorter distance try and because I haven't carb loaded in a hot sec and I don't want to risk any sort of gut upset on the day or anything like that, I am sticking on the lower end and we're going to aim to consume around 450 grams of carbs today. So our first bit of carbs for today, we have a cinnamon raisin bagel with some banana and honey and a crack of sea salt. This comes out to be 93.8 grams of carbs. So we're off to a very good start, considering that this isn't even my brekkie, this is a snack. So we're off to a good start, 93.8, total is 450 for the day. Or something around there, as close as I can get essentially without making myself feel violently ill, but also we don't want to risk performance dipping, so we do really want to hit that today. I'm going to sit down and eat this and also drink some water because that is a second priority for today, is going to be making sure that I'm super hydrated. I'm going to be having some electrolytes today as well, but I'll save them for later on in the day. For this morning, I'm just going to make sure that I'm keeping up my water intake. I'll sit down and eat this, then get ready for my walk, and then I'll check in with you guys. Okay guys, I'm all dressed and ready to go. I've just popped on this little set from Oner. I've got the Air Move shorts on and this tank. I'm not sure what the name is, but I'll pop the names on the screen here. Literally so obsessed with this outfit. Hang on, I'll show you in the mirror. This is her. I'm literally obsessed. I wear this in a different color every single day, I swear. These shorts are like the comfiest thing ever. They are like a running sort of specific style short, but I just like to wear them casually. I mean, they're obviously not just running shorts, but yeah, these are literally my favorite shorts ever to go for like a walk or anything like that. But I'm gonna head off now. I'm not gonna bring my camera, but I will get some clips on my phone. I'm gonna go grab a coffee, go for a walk, and then do the compression boots in my gym to just kind of like flush the legs out one more little bit. I'm not sure if it's gonna make all that much of a difference, to be honest, but it's like, I'd rather do that than not. You know what I mean? I'm like, I may as well do it. Main reason being that I'm going for a walk this morning is to sort of help with digestion. Obviously today I'm going to be consuming a hell of a lot of carbs and I want to make sure that my body is kind of like digesting them properly and I don't have any sort of gut upset today or tomorrow race day. So my plan is to kind of try and go for like even a 15 to 20 minute walk after meals. Obviously I am about to drive like 15 minutes before I'm walking, so it's not ideal to not be walking like straight after meals. You kind of want to be going like straight after, not like half an hour after, but it's still going to help nonetheless. And then for the rest of the day, every time I eat, particularly when I am eating like over 100 grams of carbs in one sitting or around that, I'm definitely going to try and go for a little walk just to make sure I am digesting the food and it's doing what it should be doing. Back home now from the gym and I've just made myself my brekkie, my second meal of the day. So we've got a bagel, one side with 2 eggs scrambled and one side with cottage cheese, banana and honey. This comes to 62 grams of carbs. Now, it probably could have been a little bit higher in carbs, to be completely honest, but I'm just thinking on my toes here. I haven't actually planned today to a T, which typically you would for like a carb load, but because I found out so last minute, my goal for today is to just get as close to 450 as I can. And we're just gonna take it meal by meal and see how we go. So we're gonna sit down, eat this, and then we'll start packing. Okay, it's time to start packing. I do feel like extremely unprepared, and I feel like I don't really have a plan of what I'm bringing. I just wrote out a little bit of a list of everything that comes to mind, but even on that list, I'm like, I feel like I'm missing so many things. But we're just gonna get all of this stuff together and sort of put it into, and then I guess like categorize it in terms of like what I'm gonna need for each leg of the race. And then hopefully that will help me to like recognize if there's something that I'm missing. Okay, first up we have the swim. Now for that, I'm bringing my wetsuit. I don't actually know if it's a wetsuit swim. I'm not entirely sure. I'm sort of waiting to hear confirmation on that, because sometimes you're not required to wear a swimsuit and a wetsuit, sorry, and sometimes you are. So I've got my goggles, my swim cap. I have my race day suit. This is her. I got her from 2XU. Okay, we've got my tri-suit and we have a sports bra to go under. Gonna pack some undies. Shoes, I'm going to be wearing my Asics Super Blasts, and I'm going to take 2 pairs of running socks just in case. Okay, we're now in the pantry because the next task is to figure out what race day nutrition I want to bring. My goal is going to be to try and hit 90 grams of carbs per hour for on the bike. I actually don't even know how long this is going to take me because, again, I've never done a Olympic distance try, and I also have never like planned or prepped to do one. So I don't actually know how long this is going to take me. Let's do some quick maths. So it's a 1.5k swim. I don't know if I want to take a gel before I get in for the swim. Okay, first things first, I'm going to pack a gel to bring with me on race morning to have just before we get in the water. So I'm obviously going to have my pre-training meal, which will probably be a bagel with honey and banana. And I'll have that before we leave the apartment to drive up. And then just before I sort of start the swim, I'll have one gel. This has about 25 grams of carbs, and this one also has 30 milligrams of caffeine. So I'm going to bring that to have just before the swim. On the bike, as I said, I kind of want to try and hit around 90 grams of carbs per hour. If I cycled 40 kilometers at an average pace of 26 kilometers per hour, how long would that take me?
To find the time, we just divide the distance by the speed. So 40 kilometers divided by 26 kilometers per hour is roughly 1.54 hours. That's about 1 hour and 32 minutes.
So an hour and a half, which means we need to bring 90 plus 45 is 135 grams of carbs for on the bike. Okay. What did I just say? 135. Okay. So I'm going to bring 2 carb mixes. These ones are from Victus and they're the strawberry and lemon flavor. These are my favorite. I've never heard anybody talk about these. I don't know why. They literally taste so good. I'm obsessed with them. So I'm going to bring 2 of them. They're 45 grams of carbs each, so that's 90 grams there. So we need another 45 grams of carbs. I'm going to bring a packet of these Scratch Chews. These have 18 grams of carbs per serve, and there's 2 serves in there. So that's 46 grams of carbs. Wait, no, 36 grams of carbs, sorry. Wait. Yeah, 36 grams of carbs in there. My brain. Okay, I actually thought that I had so many more pure sports nutrition gels, but I actually don't have that many. I don't know why. So I think I'm going to pack enough gels and stuff to bring with me, but I think when I go to the Expo this afternoon and like check in and everything, I'm going to try and get some more of these. So I'm going to bring 1 more of these to have on the cycle, and that will put me at just over 90 grams. I might not need it and I can save it for the run, but I'm going to bring it just in case. So that's the nutrition for that, and then I'll go on to the run. Now I'm only going to bring 1 gel for the run because it's a 10k. And to be completely honest, I might not even end up having it, but I might feel like I need it. So I'm just going to bring 1. I'm going to bring 1 of these Fueler gels. These have 25, I think, grams of carbs. Yeah, 25 grams of carbs. No caffeine. So there's not actually much that I'm bringing that has caffeine, which I don't know if I want to change that. I do have these Fueler gels, which are just caffeine, so they're not actually carbs. There's like literally 0.8 grams of carbs in them, but it's 200 milligrams of natural caffeine. So I might pack this and I'll see what I'm thinking, but I might bring this just in case I do want a hit of caffeine on the bike, and then I'll have this as well. So I'm going to bring that too. And that is everything I'm bringing. It's like, I feel like this doesn't feel like a lot because obviously, again, I'm doing such a shorter distance, but it feels like I should have so much more than that. But nope, that's perfect. One more thing I'm going to bring is some electrolytes. I'm probably going to have these tomorrow morning. I will also have some today. But yeah, I think I'll try and have these in the morning. but I don't want to have like too much in my stomach. I think I'll have these in the morning though. Also grabbing 2 bottles to pack my nutrition on my bike. This is everything laid out. So we have my nutrition with the bottles. We've got my tri suit with a sports bra and undies, my shoes for the run, socks for the run/cycle. We've got a jumper just for race morning and even just for today. And then I've got my race number belt, some body glide for chafing. I have my sunnies. Those actually aren't the sunnies that I think I want to bring, but I literally can't find them anywhere. So we'll hold tight on that for a second. I've got my wetsuit, goggles, and swim cap, some PJs for tonight, as well as some face masks. And then we have my helmet with my cleats, a little towel for transition. And then over there, I've just got like my phone charger with a couple accessories for my camera and my asthma puffer, which I will chuck with all of that stuff. I think that's everything I have to bring. Obviously, I've got my toiletries that I'm going to pack afterwards, but it feels like I should have so much more. I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know why. But we're going to pack this all up, and then I'm probably going to like do a little bit of research. I'm actually going to go back on my notes app and find the note that I created the packing list for my previous 70.3 just to make sure that I've gone over everything. Then I might even like double check by looking on social media at like what everyone else has packed, just in case I'm missing something that is like blaringly obvious. All right, we've got everything in the suitcase. Obviously, I now need to pack it properly, but obviously I had to get a cute little pic of my layout. So we've got everything packed in there. I think I've got everything. Worst case scenario, I can always pick something up at the Expo or while I'm up in Noosa, but fingers crossed I'm not forgetting anything. Hello guys, it's been a long time since no update. Not really a long time, but it's currently 12:30 and we are in Mooloolaba. So I've just gone and gotten my hair braided, as I'm sure you guys have noticed. You did a good job overall. They are a little bit looser than I would have liked, but at the same time I couldn't do them any better myself. So beggars can't be choosers, right? So she did a good job. They look really good. I've just grabbed some lunch. I ended up grabbing this poke bowl with like a whole bunch of sushi rice at the bottom, so I'm so excited to eat that. But we're gonna go to Grilled because that's what Cam wants, and then I'll sit there and eat that there. And I also grabbed a juice. Juices are such a good way to get in carbs without feeling overly full. Per serve, which is basically the bottle, is an extra 23 grams of carbs in this. And then I also picked up a peanut butter bliss ball, which Cam did as well, but he literally ate that within 0.5 seconds. What do you rate it?
9.
9?
At least.
What would you rate your mum's ones?
But I was also very hungry.
True. So anything probably tasted good then. So we're gonna sit down, have some lunch at Grilled, and then we'll drive up to Noosa. So that's probably gonna take us like 40 minutes to get up there. I'll have to check in, get my do all my registration and everything, then check in my bike and my run transition bag, I think so. And then I don't actually know. I'm gonna be so real. I've got no idea what's going on. Get all checked in, and then we've got to drive back down here because we're staying down in Mooloolaba, or like Sunshine Coast. We'll have to go to Woolies tonight to grab some dinner things and things for my pre-workout snack tomorrow and all of that sort of stuff. And then also want to make a trip to the chemist and potentially to Giant because I kind of want to get a new helmet, but we're going to have a look at what they have at the Expo. I've been wanting to get a new helmet since I literally got mine. I'm not the biggest fan of my helmet and I really want a new one. So we're going to have a look. I might not end up getting one if they don't have any and we might not have time tonight, but we'll see how we go. I do also want to get some like elastic laces from the 2XU pop-up, maybe a few other little bits and pieces, but we'll see. Very excited. Up at the check-in. Also, I completely forgot to bring my ID, so I realized when we were at lunch that I didn't have it, and it says you need photo ID to like do your check-in. So I was honestly like freaking out, but But I thought that I'll show you guys everything that I picked up at the little pop-up stores. So first things first, I got this case for my fuel for my bike. I've been really wanting to get one of these, and I actually was originally going to order a hard case one because I just thought I'd want that over like a soft one, but it felt so hard to like put your hand in and grab it, and being somebody who's not that confident like cycling and using one hand, I was like, what are the odds that I have this hard case and I like can't get my fuel out because I'm gonna like push my bike over trying to grab it out. So I ended up going with a soft case, which I love. It actually looks really sleek. I got a whole bunch of pure gels. I ended up grabbing 8 because they had a deal that was like 25 gels. Nope. 8 gels for $25, but I grabbed 8 of them, which is good because I did need one potentially for the cycle, and then I'll have a couple extras for training as well. I also picked up a new pair of goggles. These ones are from 2XU and they're only like $35, and they just feel really, really comfy on my face. The problem that I have with my current Speedos ones is I like the look of them, but they're not actually that comfy on my face, and they dig into my like eyelid here too much. Clearly they're just not the best fit for my face shape, so I grabbed these. They do have like a pink little strap as well, but they're like black and mirrored and they look really cool. So I think lucky last I picked up some of these sport laces. So they're the ones that just like tighten like that way you don't actually have to like physically tie your shoelaces up, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna have to pop these in my shoes tonight, and hopefully I like them. Although I am kind of sad to be getting rid of the current laces in my shoes and swapping them for this, because the current laces in my shoes are like a baby purple color to match the baby purple shoes. So I was looking to see if they had any purple ones, but they didn't. They only sort of had white or black, but these are gonna have to do. We do have to go to the bike transition spot now, which is about, I'm gonna say it's like 2Ks from where you sort of check in. So that's why we're driving there and not just like riding my bike to check in. Fingers crossed we're gonna be able to get a park. I do have a feeling that everyone's kind of like on their way out. Like even when we were in just then, there was not long lineups to check in or anything, and a lot of the stalls were actually packing up. So I do think they're coming to the end. The bikes actually have to be racked by 4:30. So we are in very much the later half of the check-in process. So when we get there, I'm gonna have to pop this on my bike, and then I'll have to put on the sticker around my bike post and anything else I'm gonna have to attach, and also gonna have to make sure I pump up my tires and everything like that so my bike is all good and ready to go. Oh my gosh, what a freaking debacle. It's currently 7:15. Safe to say we're both so exhausted and hungry. I feel like this is always the way though, on like a day where you're checking in for an event or something like that. It's always just chaos. Basically got my bike all checked in and everything, which that in itself, I was completely thrown off because I was just so confused in comparison to like cans. In cans, you had like a run bag and like a run transition bag and a bike transition bag, and you gave them in, you had everything laid out. Whereas with this, you didn't actually have to take anything to transition other than your bike. So I literally checked my bike in and I said to a volunteer, I was like, can you please let me know how the transition works? Because where am I putting my transition stuff? And then she ended up explaining that you literally start the bike where you end the bike, and then you will do like the bike transition and the run transition in the same spot, and then the morning of, so tomorrow morning you'll go with all your transition stuff for the bike and the run, and you'll put that all there. We got it all figured out in the end, and then we had to drive down from Noosa, which is up where it starts, down to the back down to the Sunshine Coast, which is where we're staying because there was no accommodation left in Noosa, which was about a 50-minute drive. So we got down here, we had to go to Woolies. I ended up seeing that they actually had a Flannery's right next to the Woolies, and they had Loco Love chocolates there, and I really wanted one to get for after dinner. So I was like, okay, we only need a couple things from Woolies, we'll just go there and get all of the ingredients there. We couldn't do that because they didn't have like 90% of the things that we needed anyway, like bagels, mints, and we were like, okay, we're gonna have to go to Woolies regardless. So we grabbed, I think we literally got like pasta sauce, a little snack, and I don't even know what else we got, but oh, and then the Loco Love chocolate, and we got 2 bananas because that was kind of all we could get from there that we needed. So then we went across the road to Woolies because it was literally right across the road, which was good, and got most of the ingredients from there. They didn't have Before You Speak coffee. I cannot even begin to explain, like I literally, that is the only coffee I have before everything, before every single training session. That is the only coffee I know to have. I'm kind of freaking out, like I'm gonna have to wake up in the morning and not have any coffee. And we're also gonna have to wake up super early because the transition literally closes at 6 a.m. tomorrow. It's probably gonna take us like an hour to drive up there, and we need to make sure that we can get up there and we can like somehow like park and check all the transition in. So we're gonna have to wake up so early, and yeah, I'm not gonna have any coffee. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. We're gonna have to try and either, first option is to go to McDonald's and get a double shot espresso from there and just drink it. Second option is to wait until we're up there and then try and get something after I've checked everything in. But I just don't know how smooth that's going to be. I don't know what's going to be open. I don't know where any cafe is going to be. Like, I'm assuming there's going to be some, but I also don't want to find myself stuck in a position where like I don't have coffee, because that just would suck, you know? I'm thinking I'm going to go to McDonald's, get a double espresso, bring it with me. I'm not actually going to drink it. And then while we're there, I'll get everything checked in. If I can find a cafe and get like a little coffee there, I will get that and have that and not worry about the McDonald's shop. But if there's nothing, then McDonald's will be like my plan B, because that way I'm kind of covered regardless. So I think that's the lesson learned. I will never not be traveling with my pre-speak coffee. If I had some at home, I definitely would have packed it because I didn't want to have to buy a whole new bunch, but I actually just ran out. So I should have gone and bought it, but regardless, I wasn't aware that not all Woolworths actually stock it. So safe to say I won't be making that mistake again. The second thing, which is kind of frustrating, is that Woolies was out of most bagels, which, to be expected, it's an endurance event. So I had to get the brioche bagels, which these should be fine anyway. I'm sure they'll still be good. But yeah, they're just not the usual bagel that I have. So it is what it is. Lesson learned. But on the menu tonight, which I mean, if I was to say take a guess at what we're having, I'm sure you could all guess it right now. Pasta. Yeah, we're having pasta tonight. So we've got some rigatoni, some beef mince, bolognese sauce somewhere, and of course, some garlic bread. Wait, that's actually crazy. In 3 of these dinosaurs is 20 grams of carbs. Honestly, just fully accepted that I'm probably gonna get like 6 hours sleep, because I'm not even gonna try and like force myself to get to bed at like, I don't know, 7:30. That's literally an hour away. I need to have a think at exactly what time we're gonna wake up. It's not gonna take me too long to get ready in the morning, but like I also don't want to be in a rush, because I mean, I kind of just feel like we're always in a rush everywhere we go. Hopefully that exhaust fan's not too loud, by the way. There's actually a massive storm coming through now, and the weather's changed because tomorrow it was actually meant to be raining, but now the weather's actually changed and it says it's going to be like partly sunny, partly cloudy. So hopefully the storm comes through tonight, and then tomorrow is just like sunshine. This is what the weather forecast is saying for tomorrow. Although it's literally going to be like 28 degrees by 10 a.m, which is kind of crazy. It's definitely going to be hot tomorrow, but hopefully there's a little bit of cloud coverage so that I don't feel as hot. And I'm also kind of just prepared to get tan marks because I didn't bring sunscreen. Don't ask me why, honest to God. Very excited to put these sport laces in. We need to make sure we do that tonight and just get everything else prepped that I'm gonna need for tomorrow. Also the timing chips, I was like, that's wild. Like, why are you giving me a whole foam pad? Like, that's insane. That is my timing chip that has to go on my ankle. Like, isn't that gonna be irritating me when I like run? That's so strange. For cans, we literally had a little ankle monitor that was like, it was smaller than my whoop, and it just like went around my ankle. So strange. Guys, I thought I was recording for the last like 10 minutes finishing making dinner, but I hadn't pressed record, so apologies. So here's the finished product. She looks delicious, and we've got some garlic bread in the oven too, which I'm about to grab. Garlic bread, and dinner is served. I probably won't chat to you guys again tonight because we're gonna have dinner, dessert, just relax, and then I will see you guys in the morning. Happy race day. It's currently 5 a.m. and we're just a couple minutes out from where we're gonna park. Pretty sure that we're parking and then getting a shuttle bus from there. So I'm crossing my fingers and toes that we're even able to get a park where this car park is that we're driving to. The station closes at 6, so I've got about an hour, give or take. I have to still get down there, but I've got about an hour to get all my stuff sorted. And I do believe that my swim start is around 7 a.m. this morning, so it actually should give us plenty of time to go and grab a coffee. We woke up and had a bagel, our pre-workout, got ready. Also, you guys would have seen, but when I was putting on my tri-suit, the zipper popped off one side, and I was literally like, I didn't think I was going to be able to fix it. I was like, oh no, what am I even going to do? I thought I was going to have to just do the triathlon with like my thing undone, which, I mean, obviously it would have been fine, but it definitely wouldn't have been ideal. But it's fine because I don't have to do that. Although I am going to need to go to the bathroom, so I'm a little bit nervous to take this off to go to the bathroom, but we'll make it work. So we're just parking now, and then we'll get the shuttle down, get everything sorted in transition, go grab a coffee, and then it'll be time to start. I'm feeling very excited, but I'm also feeling a little bit nervous, which I think is normal, but I'm just trying to remind myself I'm literally just here to have fun. So let's go and do that.